The holographic display flickered with the positions of 10,000 ships, a sight that should have brought Admiral Zarathek of the Hegemony Fleet great comfort. The combined armada of 7 species stretched across space like a glittering constellation of death, each vessel bristling with weapons that could crack planets. For 3 cycles, they had prepared for this moment, the final assault on the human homeworld. Yet something felt wrong. General Kethvar, his chitinous plates gleaming under the war room's harsh lighting, gestured at the tactical display with one of his 4 arms. The human fleet approaches. 47 vessels detected. Their formation is peculiar. Ambassador Yilnith, representing the diplomatic corps, leaned forward on her serpentine coils. Intelligence suggests they're operating under extreme desperation. Earth's population has been evacuated to their outer colonies, but they're making this last stand for symbolic reasons. Symbolic, Admiral Zarathek mused, his gill slits fluttering with what might have been amusement. How wonderfully irrational. The human vessels appeared on the display as small red dots against the overwhelming blue of the Hegemony Fleet. They moved in tight formations, their ships sleek and angular compared to the organic curves favored by most Hegemony designs. As the fleets drew closer, detailed scans began filtering through. "Strange," muttered Chief Analyst Dormin, his compound eyes reflecting the data streams. "I'm detecting massive redundancies in their command systems, multiple bridge configurations, parallel communication networks. It's as if each ship has been designed to—" The war room doors hissed open, interrupting his analysis. All heads turned as a figure in simple gray clothing walked in unescorted. Human. Male. Unremarkable, except for the calm confidence in his step and the slight smile playing at the corners of his mouth. Security officers moved to intercept him, but Admiral Zarathek raised a webbed hand. "Let him speak." "I assume you're here to surrender?" The human stopped in the center of the room, his eyes taking in the assembled military leaders of 7 species. "Actually, I'm here to ask a question." His voice carried easily through the chamber's translation systems. "I've been studying your fleet compositions, and I'm curious about something." He gestured toward the holographic display. "Why do your ships have no captains?" The war room fell silent. The question hung in the air like a physical presence, and Admiral Zarathek felt his temperature regulation systems struggling against a sudden chill that seemed to have nothing to do with the ship's atmosphere. "What did you say?" General Kethvar's mandibles clicked ominously. "Your ships," the human repeated, still smiling that unnerving smile. 10,000 vessels and not a single one has a captain. Oh, you have fleet admirals, sector commanders, wing leaders, all very impressive titles, but no ship captains. Every vessel in your armada is controlled remotely from command ships or follows predetermined algorithmic patterns or operates under direct oversight from superior vessels. Ambassador Yilneth's coils writhed slightly. Our command structure is optimized for efficiency, unity of purpose. No conflicting orders, no initiative, the human interrupted gently. No adaptation, no captain going down with the ship. Admiral Zarathek's gill slits had stopped fluttering entirely. What is your point, human? My point is that you don't understand what you're fighting. The human walked closer to the display, and his smile faded into something far more dangerous. You see 47 ships. I see 47 captains. 47 people who chose to be here, knowing they probably won't survive. 47 individuals who can think, adapt, and make decisions you can't predict because they're not following your algorithms, or your chain of command. He touched a control surface, and the display zoomed in on the human fleet. Captain Sarah Chen of the UES Defiance, former merchant marine who learned to fight pirates in the Titan Belt, Captain Marcus Webb of the UES Retribution, lost his family to your first wave, now fights with nothing left to lose. Captain Elena Vasquez of the UES Phoenix, youngest captain in our fleet, brilliant tactical mind, completely unpredictable. The human turned back to face the assembled leaders. 47 ships, yes, but also 47 stories, 47 reasons to fight. 47 minds that will do whatever it takes to make you pay for what you've done to our people. 47 against 10,000, General Kethvar scoffed, though his voice lacked its earlier confidence. The mathematics are simple. Are they? The human's smile returned, colder now. Your 10,000 ships are really just extensions of a few hundred command vessels. Destroy the command ships and the rest follow predetermined patterns. But our ships? Each one fights until it can't fight anymore. Each captain makes their own decisions, takes their own risks, finds their own solutions. He gestured at the display. Again. You've optimized for control. We've optimized for chaos. And chaos, Admiral, is something your orderly minds can't comprehend or predict. The room had grown progressively colder as he spoke, and Admiral Zarathek realized it wasn't his imagination. Something had changed in the air, in the way the other officers held themselves, in the quality of silence that followed the humans. Words. Who are you? Admiral Zarathek asked quietly. Captain James Morrison, UES Indomitable. And I'm here because my ship is about to do something your fleet will never see coming. He checked a device on his wrist. In fact, it should be happening. Right about now. Alarms began blaring throughout the war room as the tactical display erupted in chaos. The human fleet hadn't waited for the engagement to begin. They had already started fighting, using strategies that violated every conventional rule of space warfare. Ships dove directly into the hegemony formations, ignoring their own safety. Others split apart into smaller sections, each piece continuing to fight independently. Still others seemed to be deliberately ramming command vessels, sacrificing themselves to create confusion in the enemy ranks. This is madness, breathed Ambassador Yilneth. Captain Morrison nodded. Exactly, and that's why you're going to lose. As the first explosions began lighting up the real space beyond the war room's viewports, Admiral Zarathek finally understood. They hadn't come to fight a fleet. They had come to fight an idea. The idea that individual choice and sacrifice could triumph over overwhelming odds. The war room had indeed gone cold, but not from any failure of the ship's systems. It was the chill of uncertainty creeping in, where absolute confidence had once resided. And in that moment, Admiral Zarathek knew that no matter how this battle ended, the hegemony had already lost something far more valuable than ships or soldiers. They had lost their certainty that victory was inevitable. Captain Morrison smiled one last time before the communications went dead and chaos erupted across the galaxy.